A beard changes everything. It reshapes your face, it signals intention, it tells people you've made a deliberate choice about how you present yourself to the world. But here's what most men get wrong. They treat their beard like an accident instead of a decision. They grow what grows, they trim when it gets unruly. They never stop to ask whether the style they've ended up with is actually the one that works best for their face, their lifestyle, their presence. And that's a missed opportunity. And after 40, this matters more than ever. Your face has changed, your hair pattern has changed. What worked at 25 might not work now, and what you dismissed back then might be exactly what elevates you today. The men who look distinguished at this age aren't lucky. They've figured out what works and they maintain it with intention. The truth is, there are really only a handful of beard styles that stand the test of time. Not trends, not Instagram experiments. Just proven classic looks that work across face shapes, ages, and contexts. And knowing which one suits you and how to maintain it is the difference between looking distinguished and looking like you gave up on grooming. In this video, I'm breaking down 8 beard styles every gentleman over 40 should understand. Not just how they look, but who they work for, what they signal, and exactly how to maintain them. Whether you're growing your first real beard or rethinking what you've had for years, this is the foundation. Let's get into it. 1. Stubble. Stubble is the easiest beard style to pull off, and one of the most universally flattering. It adds definition to the jawline without the commitment of a full beard. It reads as intentional without being high maintenance, and for men over 40, it has a particular advantage. It adds texture and dimension to a face without the density requirements of longer styles. The key to great stubble is that it looks deliberate, not lazy. There's a difference between hasn't shaved in 3 days and maintains perfect stubble. The first reads as neglect, the second reads as control. Here's how to get it right. Let your facial hair grow for 3 to 5 days, depending on your growth rate. Then trim it down to a consistent length, usually a 1 or 1.5 guard on a quality trimmer. The Boots Beard Trimmer is excellent for this. It's cordless, precise, and the zero gap blade lets you clean up edges without switching tools. The edges are everything. Line up the cheeks so there's a clean boundary between stubble and skin. Define the neckline just above your Adam's apple. Follow the natural curve of your jaw. This is what separates stubble from scruff. Maintenance is minimal. You're not shampooing or conditioning stubble. Just moisturize your face daily to keep the skin underneath healthy and trim every few days to maintain length. Stubble works on almost every face shape, but it's especially effective for men with softer jawlines. The shadow creates the illusion of more structure. But what if you want that structure with a bit more personality? 2. The beard stash. The beard stash is Stubble's more confident older brother. It combines a short, trimmed beard with a fuller, more prominent mustache. The contrast creates visual interest. The mustache becomes the focal point, while the beard provides supporting texture. It's a look that says you understand proportion and aren't afraid to make a statement. This style works best on triangular and square face shapes, where the stronger mustache balances the jaw. It can look slightly off on round faces, where the horizontal emphasis of the mustache can widen the appearance. But rules are made to be tested. If you have good mustache genetics, it's worth trying regardless. The technique is straightforward. Keep the beard trimmed short, shorter than you might think. The mustache needs room to stand out, and if the beard is too long, everything blends together and the effect is lost. You want clear separation between the two elements. For the mustache itself, let it grow fuller than the beard. You'll need to train it to stay out of your mouth. This takes time and consistent brushing. A good mustache wax like Ruzel's helps with control, especially for keeping the ends shaped and out of the way while eating. Maintenance is moderate. Trim the beard every few days to keep it subordinate. Shape the mustache weekly, cleaning up strays and maintaining the line above your lip. The contrast is the whole point. Lose it, and you just have an uneven beard. The beard stash signals a certain playfulness balanced with sophistication. It's not as serious as a full beard, not as minimal as stubble. It's for men who want to show some personality. Now, what if your cheek growth isn't cooperating at all? 3. The Van Dyke. The Van Dyke is named after the 17th century Flemish painter Anthony van Dyke, and it's been a mark of distinguished men ever since. It combines a pointed or rounded goatee with a disconnected mustache, no hair on the cheeks, clean separation between the elements. This makes it one of the best options for men with patchy growth, since it strategically avoids the areas where most patchiness occurs. The style has an inherently artistic, intellectual quality to it. It reads as intentional and slightly unconventional without being eccentric. For men over 40 who want something more distinctive than stubble but don't have the coverage for a full beard, it's often the perfect solution. Here's the technique. Let your chin hair and mustache grow while keeping your cheeks clean-shaven. Shape the chin hair into a point or rounded shape depending on your preference and face structure. A pointed Van Dyke elongates the face, good for rounder faces. A rounded version softens angular features. The key is the disconnection. There should be clear space between the mustache and the chin hair. This is what makes it a Van Dyke rather than a connected goatee. Maintenance depends entirely on your growth rate. If your hair grows slowly, you can get away with shaping once a week. If it grows fast, you'll need to clean up the cheeks every few days to maintain the crisp lines. A precision trimmer like the Bronze Series 6 handles this well. The Van Dyke is for men who want their facial hair to make a statement. It's not a default choice, it's a deliberate one. And that deliberateness is exactly what makes it work. Speaking of working with what you've got, there's an even simpler option. 4. The Goatee. The Goatee is the gateway beard. It focuses hair around the mouth, chin, and mustache connected, cheeks clean. It's been a staple for decades because it works. It's easy to maintain, it suits most face shapes, and it provides facial hair presence without requiring full coverage. For men with patchy cheek growth, the Goatee is often the most practical option. Rather than fighting genetics, you work with them. The result is a clean, intentional look that doesn't draw attention to what's missing. The style is versatile. A fuller goatee makes a stronger statement. A trimmed, tight goatee reads more conservative. You can adjust the width and length to suit your face, wider for narrow faces, more narrow for wider faces. One caution: if you have a naturally long or narrow face, a goatee can emphasize that vertical line and make your face look even longer. In that case, consider keeping it shorter or exploring styles with more horizontal elements. The technique is simple. Define the boundaries first, where the goatee ends on your cheeks and where it meets your neck. Then let it grow within those boundaries, trimming to your desired length. Keep the cheeks and neck clean to maintain contrast. Maintenance is low. A weekly trim keeps everything in shape. Daily moisturizing keeps the skin healthy underneath. You don't need special products for a goatee, just a decent trimmer and consistency. The goatee is often dismissed as dated, but that's a mistake. A well-maintained goatee on a man who carries himself with confidence looks anything but outdated. It's all in the execution. Alright, now let's talk about when you've got more to work with. By the way, if you're finding this helpful, subscribe. I put out videos every week on style and grooming for men over 40. The more subscribers we get, the more men find this content. Let's keep going. 5. The medium beard. The medium beard is the Swiss Army knife of facial hair. It's long enough to have presence, typically 1.5 to 6 centimeters, but short enough to stay manageable. It works with almost every face shape. It's professional enough for most contexts, but masculine enough to make a statement. If you can grow one, it's often the most versatile choice. This is where maintenance starts to matter. A medium beard that's neglected looks worse than no beard at all. But a medium beard that's properly cared for, it transforms your entire presence. Here's the protocol: brush daily. This isn't optional. It trains the hair to grow in the direction you want, distributes natural oils, and prevents the scraggly look that kills an otherwise good beard. A boar bristle brush works best. Brush downward, following the grain. Wash with a dedicated beard shampoo 2 to 3 times per week. Regular shampoo strips too many oils and leaves facial hair dry and brittle. Beard shampoo is formulated to clean without overdrying. Use beard oil daily. And here's what most men get wrong. Beard oil isn't primarily for the hair, it's for the skin underneath. The skin under your beard gets neglected, which leads to itching, flaking, and irritation. Baxter of California beard oil is excellent here. It absorbs well, conditions the skin, and doesn't leave your beard looking greasy. Trim the neckline once or twice per week. The neckline is where medium beards go wrong. Too high and it looks strange. The rule is simple: place 2 fingers above your Adam's apple. That's where your neckline should be. The medium beard signals maturity and intention. It says you've committed to something and you maintain it well. For men over 40, that's exactly the message you want to send. But what if you want something even more sculpted? 6. The tapered beard. The tapered beard borrows a technique from haircuts and applies it to facial hair. The sides are faded, shorter near the ears, gradually lengthening toward the chin. This creates a sculpted, dimensional look that's more refined than a standard beard. It draws the eye downward, which can be particularly flattering for men with wider faces. This style works whether you're bald or have a full head of hair. In fact, it often looks especially sharp on bald men, where the fade creates a seamless transition from scalp to jaw. Here's the reality: this is not a DIY style. The taper requires skill and precision that's difficult to achieve on yourself. You need a barber, and not just any barber, but one who understands beard fades. Find someone good and plan to visit every 2 to 3 weeks to maintain the shape. Keep the length relatively short. A tapered beard that's too long starts to look scraggly at the edges, which defeats the purpose of the fade. The taper is about clean lines and gradual transitions. Long, bushy growth undermines that. Between barber visits, maintain the neckline and keep everything trimmed to a consistent length. You're preserving the shape your barber created, not trying to recreate the fade yourself. The tapered beard signals precision and investment. It shows you care enough about your appearance to maintain something that requires regular professional attention. That's a powerful signal after 40, when many men start to let grooming slide. This style isn't for everyone, it requires commitment. But if you're willing to put in the effort, it's one of the sharpest looks you can achieve with facial hair. Now let's go all the way. 7. The full beard. The full beard is the patriarch of facial hair. It covers the upper lip, lower lip, cheeks, chin, and connects to the sideburns. When done right, it's the most commanding presence you can create with facial hair. When done wrong, it's a disaster. The barrier to entry is genetics. A full beard requires dense, even growth across your entire face. Patchiness that's hidden in shorter styles becomes obvious at full length. If you've got significant gaps in coverage, a full beard will expose them. But if you have the growth, this style transforms your face. Here's the maintenance reality. A full beard is a commitment. Daily brushing is mandatory. Without it, hairs tangle, oils don't distribute, and the whole thing looks unkempt. Use a boar bristle brush like the Kent BRD2 to train the hair and keep it lying flat. Brush in the direction of growth, working from the cheeks down to the chin. Wash 2 to 3 times per week with beard shampoo. Follow with beard conditioner, yes, conditioner. Full beards need it. The hair is coarser than the hair on your head and requires more moisture to stay soft and manageable. Oil daily. With a full beard, you're now oiling both the hair and the skin, which can get neglected and dry underneath all that coverage. Work the oil in with your fingers, making sure it reaches the skin. Trim regularly to maintain shape. Even if you're growing it out, you need to clean up strays and keep the overall silhouette intentional. The neckline and cheek lines should be defined. A full beard should look cultivated, not abandoned. The full beard suits most face shapes, but looks particularly strong on men, with angular features that can handle the added visual weight. It reads as authoritative, mature, and confident. After 40, it can be exactly the presence you want to project. And finally, the option most men forget is even an option. 8. Clean shaven. Knowing when not to have a beard is also a skill. Clean shaven isn't a default, it's a choice. And for many men over 40, it's the right one. If your facial hair is patchy, sparse, or grows in unflattering patterns, forcing a beard makes no sense. A clean-shaven face done well looks infinitely better than a struggling beard. There's also the professional context to consider. Some industries and roles still favor the clean-shaven look. If that's your world, owning it with intention reads better than grudgingly complying. Here's how to do it right. Invest in quality tools. A good razor, whether it's a safety razor, cartridge, or electric, makes the difference between irritation and comfort. Cheap razors cause razor burn, ingrown hairs, and general misery. Prep your skin properly. Wash your face with warm water before shaving to soften the hair and open the pores. Use a quality shaving cream or gel, not the canned foam, which is mostly air. Work it into your face with your fingers or a brush. Shave with the grain on your first pass. Going against the grain gives a closer shave, but dramatically increases irritation. Most men can get a perfectly acceptable shave going with the grain only. If you need more closeness, do a second pass across the grain, not against. Post-shave care matters. Rinse with cold water to close the pores, then apply an alcohol-free aftershave balm. The balm soothes irritation and moisturizes the skin. Products with witch hazel and aloe are particularly calming. The clean-shaven look signals precision and polish. It says you're not hiding anything. After 40, a well-maintained clean-shaven face can read as just as powerful as any beard, sometimes more so. Don't fight your genetics. Work with them. Here's the thing about beard styles. There's no universally correct answer. The best beard is the one that works with your face shape, your growth pattern, your lifestyle, and your intention. A perfectly maintained stubble beats a neglected full beard every time. A confident goatee beats a patchy attempt at something fuller. It's not about which style is objectively best, it's about which style is best for you. What matters is that you've made a choice and you're maintaining it with care. That's what separates distinguished from disheveled. That's what signals that you're a man who pays attention to the details. Too many men let their facial hair happen to them. The men who look sharp at 40, 50, 60, and beyond have made their beard a deliberate part of their presence. A few universal principles regardless of style. Don't trim when wet, hair looks longer than it actually is, and you'll over-trim every time. Don't use plastic combs, they create static and can damage hair. Use beard oil for the skin underneath, not just the hair. And give any new style at least 4 to 6 weeks before you judge it. Growing phases are awkward. Push through. Take what you've learned here and experiment. Try the styles that interest you. Give them time to grow in properly before you judge. And once you find what works, commit to the maintenance. A beard is only as good as the effort behind it. If you found this helpful, subscribe. I put out new videos every week on dressing well and grooming after 40. Check out the video on screen for the next step. Keep refining. I'll see you in the next one.